Hi, thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. We are continuing the discussion of the 5 yamas, which is the first limb of the Eightfold Path in yoga. The fourth yama is called Brahmacharya, which is a Sanskrit word that essentially means balance or right use of energy, moderation. So if you think of too much of a good thing is too much, and too much is probably not good. So let's say you're eating your favorite food and you eat too much of it, that's going to not settle well and it's probably going to give you some digestive problems. So how do you bring that into the practice? Perhaps it's how often you go to a yoga practice, or maybe finding space in your day for a yoga, for an asana practice. Moderation just means if you have time and energy to do it, then do it. If you don't have the time and energy to do it, then you might want to reconsider. I'm not in moderation. Perhaps I'm pushing myself too far, too much. Maybe you're not ready for a power class today, and you need to do more of a all levels class. Or maybe you just don't have time today and you just need to skip it today. Even on the mat while you're actually on the practice, whatever pose you're in, moderation means to just not push yourself too far, which kind of ties into the first yama, which is to do no harm. So these kind of intertwine. But today, Brahmacharya, I want to start us into a standing position. So I'll invite you to stand. And I'm going to just explain Tadasana, or a mountain pose, and how you can bring this idea of moderation into your yoga practice and also into your life. It's a nice blend of being, again, like I spoke about in the last video, being where you are on the mat, being present in the moment. So let's take a moment to breathe. Inhale and exhale, just settling on the mat. Maybe rocking back and forth, feeling your feet underneath you, and then getting grounded into the mat. All 4 corners of your feet firmly planted on the mat. We'll engage our calves, engage our hamstrings and quads. Maybe there's a slight bend, just a micro bend in the knees. Tilting our pelvis just a little bit to where our tailbone is pointing towards our heels. Engaging our core, bringing our chest and our crown up. Inhale, circle, sweeping our arms, shoulders up towards our ears, and then exhaling them back down. Pushing our ears away from shoulders, palms facing forwards, and our fingers spark towards the ground. Now in this position, just feel the solid foundation. Feel the balance you have in your space. Even equal pressure in both feet, even equal pressure throughout the foot. Just engage the balance. Inhale, we circle sweep our arms up overhead. Exhale, we lean over to the right. Inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, we bring our arms back down around. Maybe a loose fist comes to our low back for support. We inhale, arching our back to where our chest is shining open and forward, bringing our elbows and shoulders together. Inhale for a full expression here. Exhale, we bring our arms out open wide, hinging at the waist, we swan dive towards our forward fold. Maybe settling in and allowing our head to fall heavy, our arms to fall heavy. You might want to grasp one elbow
with your other hand, and then each elbow with opposite hand. Just hanging heavy, allowing your head and arms to float towards the mat. And we find that balance, we find that moderation. Inhale, we lift halfway, walking our hands up to our thighs. A full breath round here. Crown comes towards the top of the mat, extending our neck, bringing shoulders away from ears, and we engage the core. So we are engaging here, but finding that balance and that moderation in our practice. Keeping ourselves and our mind in our body and on our mat. One more inhale here. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rooting into the ground. We rise all the way up to a tall mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we pause here. Coming back to our intention for this practice. Learning about the 8 limbs, learning about the yamas, and how we can tie in this idea of moderation into our practice. Letting that be an allegory for finding moderation in our lives. Just remember that you have to have your own energy levels that can sustain you to where you're not feeling depleted. They say that you cannot give from an empty cup. And if we're trying to spread life and joy and light to the world, you can't be of service to others if your cup is empty. And the only way you can have a full cup is to make sure that you are experiencing and practicing moderation in Brahmacharya.